It's one of those mornings where I just feel gross. Julie Davis is here, and I'm not feel gross because of Julie Davis. I feel gross because it's like greasy in here.
I was like, speaking of gross, Julie Davis is here today.
Yeah. I'm not.
Thank you. What a lead-in.
I'm not saying that you're gross. You're wonderful.
Listen,
but it's humid in here.
Yeah, I don't feel
in and out.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been in here when it's worse.
Yeah, it can be awful.
But you're in long sleeves like a weirdo.
I got to do a TV hit at 10:30. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I guess the national people are still interested in the story. So
Okay.
That's going to be at 10. That's
right.
here.
So that's why you're in long sleeves today?
Yeah, I don't know what to wear.
Pearl snaps.
Pearl snaps. I should wear a Gibson shirt.
I was about to say that.
I'll trade you. Here.
I did get some new...
Doug, can you send over something for him, please?
Sure.
Text the team.
I should just wear all Kerrville swag. I should get the CVB's swag. They have the best swag.
They got some good swag over there, I will say.
They really do.
Thank you.
By the way, the Community Foundation, this is the QR code for the Community Foundation. You can help them help us if you are watching afar. We have seen the audience grow exponentially here on the Lead Live, and this is where you would donate money to. So if you're watching on your computer, take your phone and snap a picture of it, or visit communityfoundation.net to make a donation today for our Hill Country Relief Fund, and it's over $30 million, which is great news. And we also are going to have Austin will be on the show tomorrow, I believe, to talk about some of the things they're doing with us.
Wonderful.
It is going to be a good day for Kerrville as we continue this recovery effort. If you've got a copy of the newsletter today, we had links to the Lift Fund and to the Chamber of Commerce as well. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, those links are in there too. We'll put more of that out here as we go along. Kelly Hagemeyer was here yesterday. She's delightful.
She is.
She's delightful. So she was kind of beating herself up yesterday, and I told her, don't do that to yourself.
Kelly.
Don't do that to yourself. We are brought to you by Peterson Health. At the Peterson Health, we're at the Peterson Health Digital Studio here at Pine Plow Brewing Company this morning. Pine Plow is closed today, but they'll be back here tomorrow for beer and lunch. Yesterday, there were guys that were here right at 8 o'clock. They were getting off at the night shift of over at the Tybee High School Command Center, a logistics hub for this relief effort, and they were looking for beer at 8 o'clock in the morning because they were working the night shift.
It wasn't 8 to them.
Yeah, it wasn't 8 to them.
That makes sense.
And we gave them beer, so they deserved it. So good for them. Also over at Quick Lane, Ken Stubble Ford, for all your service needs, make an appointment today at 830-257-5557. I should ask them how many vehicles they've serviced helping out with these relief efforts. I need to get Capricia on the phone and see what they say, because I drove by the other day and they had an ambulance in the one of the bays working on an ambulance from the Houston area. Sci-Fair is from Houston, right? That's the Houston area?
That's from Houston area.
Yeah. Why is it called Sci-Fair?
I don't know that.
You should know all these things. I thought you were the tourist.
You're supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
I had to look it up the first time I heard of it too.
Yeah.
But it is in the Houston area.
If you need a photographer, Mia Church is available for you. She's a portrait artist. In fact, I think I need a new headshot. I should probably give her a call. JP Properties. This Janelle Peralt person. She's pretty good egg. I don't know where we found her from, but she's terrific.
She found her way here.
She found her way here. She can take care of you with lots of stuff. She can also talk to you about fitness, running, soccer, and a whole other, probably fine cooking too, I think, as well. Fine dining as well. Mattress World. One thing that makes me happy is my Mattress World pillow, Serta, or it's a Serta pillow, I believe. I think it's a Serta pillow. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Is it the one with the little cutout?
Yes, it's delightful.
Same. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Also, Central Provisions and Centerpoint. They're doing amazing things down there. This is one of those things. I trade advertising with them for art.
Oh, okay.
Justin Graham originals, which he never wants to part with. It's weird. Like,
that's funny.
I know. I don't want you to have that one. Well, I like that.
You're
one.
like, but it's part of our trade.
It's part of our trade. Doug knows bibs over at Carhartt, and you know what? If you're gonna do work now, you need a good bib.
You need to get bibbed up.
Get bibbed up. Doug knows everything there is to know about basically a lot of things now. Also, SLS Partnership is available for your architectural needs. They are also wonderful. That's Scott Shellhay's guy. He knows how to build a beautiful pool. I should probably change that ad out at some point. The Herring Printing Company. They'll take care of your printing needs. Unless you're printing a big newspaper, then they can't help you there. But they can get you in the right spot.
That's right. They'll point you in the right direction.
Point you in the right direction. Mike Whitler over at the K-Pub. They're safe, reliable, and yours. They're going to be giving us a new power plant soon. Probably should get a better ad for them too. There's so many things to catch up on. So it's out of control. And then also, if you need to have your garage looking sharp,
That does look sharp.
give those guys over at Wise Coatings a call. They can turn your garage into a showroom. So there you go.
I'd have to empty it first.
Yeah, stuff. I saw a really sexist and misogynistic video the other day of a man who was like talking about his barn dominium, and he's like, "Man, we don't need anything. We don't need boxes. It's just nice and neat." And why men like barn dominiums and women don't. Basically, it's just a gigantic loft for a man.
They just like nothing in it.
They sleep with their cars and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really get it
Yeah.
myself, but that's just the thing.
John definitely thinks we have too much stuff in the garage.
Really?
He'd like it very empty.
Yeah, I'm kind of
That's
a
where I
hoarder.
put some of my treasures.
Yeah. Doug, would you have a barn dominium if you could?
We almost built one.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. But circumstances dictated we moved elsewhere, and so we ended up in Bandera. But yeah,
Well, that's okay.
yeah, I got an awesome shop though.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
You got a shop. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's where the
pretty cool.
Cobra.
And your insurance is a lot less than a barn unit.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really?
They're super high.
Really?
If you can get it at all.
Why? Because they just fall
Interesting.
over or something? Or?
I don't know why they make insurance companies so angry, but a single family residence was running $1,500, $2,000. Barn dominium started about $4,500,
Wow.
$5,000.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Part I didn't understand was like when we were looking into it, I thought it was just like a metal building, right? With some insulation and maybe some paneling, but they literally build a house inside the metal building.
Yeah.
The people we were talking to, I'm like, I'm paying for two houses. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Right.
So, but I guess they do.
And then
already
apparently
do.
more insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Which I did not know.
What does it cost to insure something dumb like a storage? What are those things? The storage container houses. Those.
Oh yeah, those.
You know
yeah.
what's interesting about those is that you have to really put a lot of work into actually getting them ready for living. You can't just live in it.
Yeah.
Because of the condensation and all the other stuff. So, things we think about here on the show. Yesterday, I don't know if Wendy or Kyla will join us today. They're probably both busy, but yesterday the Commissioners Court had a very interesting meeting. There was a lot of things out of that meeting yesterday. There was two big ones. One was that Bob Reeves basically said that there's at least $200 million in property tax losses already for Kerr County on their basic preliminary estimates. It's going to be much higher. So that's going to be a big deal. And it's not going to help the argument that the tax argument when they come to look at it as well, that property tax loss is going to be so huge for the county, especially as they move forward. And the other one too was Larry Letha was about as solemn and focused and direct as I've ever seen him, and a little bit angry, I'd say. I would say just his body posture was a little bit like
Ready for business.
Ready for business yesterday. And he told the Commissioners Court, I am going to give myself a raise. And quite frankly, I don't fault him for that. It was a $32,000 raise. If you really look at law enforcement salaries, and then some people are like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "No, I'm not crazy. Just know it. I'm just realistic about these kind of things." He makes probably significantly less money than the police chief does in Kerrville. Now, Chris McCall's a great guy and everything, and he does a great job. But the sheriffs, I think their baseline salary is about $100,000 a year. That's nothing in cop world. I mean, he's probably got deputies who make as much money as he does in overtime. So they have SB 22 funds, that State Senate Bill 22, which has helped to helps offset some of the costs for policing in the state, and they had about $500,000 put aside for this, also for recruitment and retention. And the sheriff says, I'm taking that for myself. I could take this money, but I didn't take it before. Now I'm taking it. And the sheriff looks tired. He made it clear. Look, I brought in $9 million in grants and jailing of out of county prisoners. I mean, they basically are the number one contract agency with Bexar County So if Bear County has people they can't house, they bring them up to Kerrville. So, and I can't imagine the amount of hours that these guys have put in, especially the sheriff, because he was the main top kind of public safety guy on this flood, and he looks tired, and so he's going to take. So there was a little back and forth between him and Judge Kelly yesterday, Judge Rob Kelly, who was sort of opposed to it, because the issue for them ultimately is that once that SB 22 money runs out, then they're on the hook for all these kind of raises and stuff. So it comes out of the general fund, and you've already got the anti-tax, people going crazy over any kind of suggestion that there could be a tax hike. So there's that piece of it. So trying to play the political game with this as well. And ultimately, the judge came around and said yes to the raise and to the other expenditures when it came to law enforcement. But yeah, so that got done yesterday. Charlie Hastings made a pretty dynamic presentation yesterday about, he's the county engineer, about the force of the water. He's echoing things that I've already I've talked about this a little bit. Like, he's just saying stuff too, I think, that are out there. There's a growing scientific consensus. In fact, we have a story today that Jen Dean wrote about, these experts at Texas A&M, Texas State, and this nonprofit group, where they talk about the terrain of the hill country as why a flash flood would happen here. But none of them say that anyone could really expect the scale that we saw of this. And Charlie Hastings made a point that, there were some spots where people saw water rise. This is new to me. I didn't hear this part ever, but it makes sense when you look at Center Point, that the water was as high as 50 feet in some places. Now, here's the thing, right? In Kerrville, we know definitively that there was about 150,000 cubic feet of water running every second through Louise Hayes Park. There's a nice little explainer on that one, but it was 3.9 billion gallons of water an hour going through like that little stretch there. And it was 900 feet wide. The river was 900 feet wide. So the bank, the north bank, kind of below where Grape Juice is at, all the way to Thompson Drive was about 950 feet. So that's how wide this thing was going down. And then when you get down to Center Point and you realize that it topped the bridge on, why do I always forget the name of that
480.
street? 480, FM 480. Has another name too, like San Antonio Road or something silly like that.
All our roads have about 4 names.
4 names.
Where
I
you're
know.
standing.
I know. I just called the road from 27 to Main to downtown, but it went over that bridge, up and over that bridge.
Which is pretty common in flood times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about the size of that bridge to the bottom of where the river normally is running, that's incredible. The volume of water that going up and over that top of that bridge. So there you go. Also, EIC met yesterday. Economic Improvement Corporation met yesterday, and they got another update from how bad the parks are torn up here in Kerrville. I mean, they're trashed. I finally saw damage yesterday of a photo of some of the river trail that had been eroded between the Dietrich Center and the Riverside Nature Center. But for the most part, the river trail kind of held up. There's damaged bridges. There's damaged stuff all over the place. I don't know how the hell that Guadalupe River Bass thing.
Lupe, she's tough.
Lupe survived.
Lupe survived.
She's tough.
Yeah, she survived.
Yeah. Well, she's up on the edge of, if she'd been further down.
She probably got
That
faster
may
water
not have
flow,
been true.
probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she sticks out.
yeah.
Yeah.
She caught a cypress tree.
Well, what's
True.
interesting is that all those limestone blocks there.
Yeah.
They didn't move at all. So
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting. Some of the
Yeah.
things you see, there's things that are inexplicable in a disaster.
Sure.
There's the Lupe staying there, and also the boots between Mystic and River Inn. A lot of those survived. On the boots on the fence up there, that survived as well. So EIC got a full update, and what's crazy is Kerrville's going through all this, and they're trying to finalize the public safety building, and they're trying to finalize all these projects, the Callow Theater, the Heart of the Hills Heritage Center, just down the street here. They're working on the pool right now, which is going to take more than a year to finish that. And so there's all these projects that are going on too. Now you're having to deal with relief efforts as well.
It's also budget.
And also budget time too. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So when we were coming out of that meeting that you had the other day, what's his name? Jacob, the one county guy, or the city budget guy who was there. Tall kid from Shriner. I yelled at him. I said, "Get back to work on that budget."
Yes.
No rest.
See,
for
I
you.
congratulated him on getting out of the department.
Yeah.
And seeing some sunshine.
Right, because you can't. Because what's happened here is that the team over there, Julie Barons and her team over there, they're basically chained to their desk, unfortunately, right now because they got to get that budget done. And all the other stuff.
Unfortunately for them, they were in a really great place that now is almost like you toss out and start all over.
Yeah.
And there's a deadline by the state on when you have to file it, so
Right.
you don't get to.
You don't get a break on this as well, and the county's
Yeah.
facing the same issue as well.
It's tough to budget right now.
Tough to budget. I don't think
There's always a lot of unknown, but
Yeah.
now we have a whole other unknown.
Tonight at 6:30 over at Ingram Tumler High School, there will be a FEMA meeting for a town hall meeting, which we will live stream on behalf of the county. They asked us to live stream it for them, and we said, absolutely, we'll do that for you. Tomorrow, they have the first hearing of the joint Senate and House select committee on the flood. They meet tomorrow in Austin, and then they'll be back here on July 31st to have their first sort of open meeting with the public. And so a lot going on with this stuff as well. And I think I've got pretty much all the news and notes. Julie Davis, I got to tell you, I'm going to tell you publicly. I've told you this privately.
Okay.
She had a meeting on Friday, which seemed a little bit out of the ordinary, right? Because it was about tourism. But everyone's thinking about it, and it was about a 25-minute presentation. Like, here's what's going to happen. Here's our recovery plans, for tourism and for the industry here. And then it turned into like this hour-long sort of discussion group.
Yeah.
It was fascinating to listen to. And I called you. I was thinking about it all day Friday, and I was driving home from San Antonio Friday. I went to see Superman, by the way, Doug. It's quite delightful.
I'll pass.
It's campy and
pass.
silly. Doug,
I'll
damn it.
pass. We have very different ideas on movies,
Wow.
you and I. So
It's good you know it.
We really don't. I just like there's something that I just like that. Anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
moving on.
Okay.
All right. I was thinking about it on the way home from San Antonio after seeing the movie, and I called you and left a message for you at 9:45, and I said, "Hey, great job," and that was a cathartic sort of experience for everybody, and it was interesting. It was an interesting discussion that nobody seemed to really. It was like everyone. I don't even cried, but there was moments there. It was
Yeah.
It was heavy,
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot. We're all processing a lot right now.
Yeah.
And, normally I give a lot of stats and data and figures, and preparing for that, I was like, nobody wants to hear that today.
No.
And so I just kind of tossed it all out and said, we have a plan and we're going forward, and
Yeah.
here's what we're going to do. And
I thought that was a really good part of it too. I thought that was a good
yeah,
it was a good piece of the discussion. And then then we all
it'll
sat
be
there.
hard, but we'll
Right.
come back.
Yeah, I mean, then we all sat there, and it's kind of weird for me. Like here I am, the journalist, but I also consider myself a business owner in town, and it's like, my business is dependent upon Julie's success. Quite frankly.
Well,
And
all of us are.
All of us are, yeah. And so and Doug was in that room too. Did you feel that? Did you sense that too? That everyone just kind of wanted to just sit there and talk and
Yeah.
didn't really
yes.
want to,
Yeah. No, for
it's
sure.
true, because Doug told me he was going to leave early, and he stayed.
And I did not leave early. Well, because I got a
No,
million
it's
things happening. I'm
true.
trying to juggle a lot of stuff. But yeah, and to that point, Lewis, I'll echo what you said. I think Julie did a great job. The sentiment was I think on point, because you have to get back to business, right? But at the same time, you don't want to ignore the tragedy that happened. So you have to walk that fine line, and I think she did a great job. And now we can kind of look forward. The folks that were there, we can look forward and see that there is a plan moving forward, and it is a little bit loose, right? We have to wait and see the things that are going to happen. So it's not like A, B, C, D, E. So we'll wait to see what things kind of develop, and I think you guys are prepared for that. And I think it gave me a little confidence going forward, because if you haven't been through one of these major events like this, you wonder, like, I have a zillion questions. I was zero affected in terms of our personal life, but for the poor people that I'm trying to help, have a zillion questions. How does
Yeah.
the money get distributed? How do we make sure we don't end up doing like they did in LA fires and
Yeah.
the money disappears and nobody has it and so on. So yeah, I don't have answers to those questions, but what you presented, I think, as a kind of a going forward in tourism, I think it was enlightening.
Yeah, I think like for us, what I have to do is I'm like, Doug, I want to find an answer to all the things
Yes.
and help everybody. But then all of a sudden I had to like, okay, I can only actually do this one thing.
Yes.
This is where I'm
Your
trained.
lane. Your lane.
My lane.
Yes.
And so our CVB has partnered itself with people that have a lot more talent and team than me, right?
Yes.
Than 6 people that
And
we have.
experience too, because they've
And
been through this,
experience.
right? Yeah.
And so, immediately, honestly, on July 4th, we were having conversations and it's continued onward and they've been nonstop. I mean, I got a text this morning. And so it's just making sure the rest of the community knows that we're doing our piece. We're not out in the news about it because that's
Right.
not where we're supposed to be right now.
Right.
But don't
Yeah.
worry, we got this piece. And
Right.
so that takes hopefully maybe something they hadn't thought about yet. But in the middle of the night, you go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
whatever it is. Hopefully that takes that one worry away from them that we have our piece. And so,
Well, and I think that what we saw there was a really comprehensive plan. That was, I felt like, when did you have time to do all this, Julie? Gee, Merry Christmas. I mean, like this was a well thought out deal. It was.
why I haven't been on the show.
I know it was tight. It was tight.
Again, to echo kind of what you were saying before, she got a great team.
Yeah.
I have to know all those people over there. She's
Yeah.
got an awesome team, and she's paired up with some really
Right.
smart folks
Right.
at the marketing agency. So I think
Yeah.
that guy was sharp. I was impressed
Yeah.
with him. He
Yeah,
got-
and he's a local guy, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
he grew up in Stonewall.
yeah.
Went to Angelo State. You can't
Right.
get any better than
Oh
that.
my
That's
gosh.
where I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But no.
Rams, right?
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think, and then our team that we've been dealing with, Arsenal, for the past 3 or 4 years, I mean, they love this community. Their heart breaks too at the very
Sure.
same time, as does Daryl's. And they're our neighbors, they're our friends. Arsenal showed up on a Friday, the week, 1 week after. I don't know days anymore, just to buy us lunch and say hi and give us a hug
Yeah.
and go back. I mean, and so
I love that.
they're our friends
I love
too.
that, and I
Yes.
gotta say that I just a personal aside here. I was sitting there listening to you tell all these people that helped you out, and I was like, wow, it must be nice to have industry colleagues who will have your back and help you out in a pinch.
It is. And I knew they were that way, I guess, because you see it happen in other places, but I haven't experienced
Yeah.
it. And so it was amazing to get a random email from someone that you've never met who goes, this is what I just did, or how can I do whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see that as well.
Yeah.
And the plan's good, and there's
so.
there's a lot of I guess, and I didn't really tell you this too much, Julie, but I did go to hunt on Saturday, and I've shared this already a little bit. I wrote about it. I got a little note from somebody in law enforcement saying, "Was there a checkpoint at 1340 and 41?" I'm like, nope.
Oops.
There was not. There was a road closed sign, but I heard.
But I just blew that
I
out.
just blew that off.
I thought that was for the other guy, huh?
There
No,
was
that was
no
the other guy.
guardrail.
I go, what's it closed for? There's nothing going on here. But yeah, the recovery's going to be long.
The recovery will be long.
Hunt has fundamentally changed
Yeah.
in ways that's hard to even fathom and explain to people.
And I think that's, hard. I mean, I know it's hard for everyone. It's hard for me growing up here.
Yeah.
It'll be my therapy session now. Everyone sit down. But that's where I learned to swim. That's where, all the things for me as a little kid were out in
Yeah.
Hunt. That's where my family was. And so I have to take that hat off and remember what's still good.
Yeah.
And then talk about what is still good, right? We have
Yeah.
a lot of other things.
Well, I can tell you this.
And
I talk
so-
to those people every day.
Yeah.
I talk to lots of people out in Hunt every day, and they are optimistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are strong. They are even in a good mood.
Yeah.
Crazy to think.
Yeah.
Well,
Like they're positive and they're working and they know that it's an uphill battle, but they're cranking, man. They're
Yeah.
they're working
the
hard.
Hunt stores, the building, has needed love for
Yeah.
since I went there the first time in 1989, I think.
Yeah.
So there will be a monument
Yes.
before this gets done.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be
And
fortified for
the Hunt
future
store is,
generations.
you know, and here's the one takeaway I had from the Hunt store. It's fundamentally more damage than we even
Yeah.
know. I mean, it on the backside of it, what we usually see, we've seen from the photo ops and all that other stuff is just the Hunt sign, basically, Hunt store
Right.
sign. The whole backside of it is ripped away.
Yeah.
barely standing before.
Yeah, it's barely. It was. It looked like a wave of water that took out the slammed up against the side of the building and somehow bounced off of it and then
Yeah.
kept on going. It was just incredible. The changes there are astounding. And I was thinking too. I was the week before, the Monday before 4th of July, the Sunday before the 4th of July, I took a little swim in the river over at Moe Ranch, and I was just like, how
that's right,
nice,
yeah.
how nice is this? This is so great. I hadn't really been swimming in a long time, and it was just so nice to kind of take a dip in that
Beautiful
thing.
place to go do that.
And I thought this is gonna
Right near the headwaters.
be, and it was my first experience was
Right. Polar plunge.
polar plunge.
Not as much fun.
Yeah, with Larry Letha.
Oh,
you know?
how funny.
Yeah, so I made him go with his boots on, and he's probably held it against me ever since. So
Tried to drown the man.
I
he
tried
needs
to
a
drown
raise.
him. Yeah. Yeah, he needs a raise for putting up with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I caused him plenty of headaches, but it's
It's a
man,
hard time. But
hard time.
I think what we've seen too in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks now, is the togetherness of our community, the unitedness of our community, our whole county,
Yeah.
but also our state, our nation, and beyond.
Yeah.
Like the people that want to help that have never been to a Kerr County.
Yeah.
The people that want to make a difference.
Are the rooms staying full with all the volunteers? I know it was pretty packed solid that first weekend.
Yes. It ebbs and flows day to day, to honestly. In fact, we need to do a call around today. So I don't know today. I feel like it's a little less full this week, but that's just me paying attention to parking lots. That's not official.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like
I think,
some of the
You know,
rentals and
yeah.
stuff were maxed
Yeah.
out there for a few.
Yeah, you're starting to see people go home. The big stories that still remain from this story, I mean, it's the long-term story. You know, there seems to be a lot of like concern about the missing number and where that came from. I'll tell you one anecdotal story that I heard yesterday that I'd love to confirm. Is it sounds like maybe DPS called people who were maybe vulnerable on the floodplain areas or areas that were prone to flooding. So I heard some people that, in fact, Mark and Laura got a call yesterday on this, saying that who come here to Pine Plow in the mornings, that they got a call from DPS asking if they were okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know where that list came from. I think the most accurate list that I've seen is Tony Gallucci has probably the most accurate list. We did some work with him initially. He's really paid attention to it, and so.
When you have to remember, like, I feel like the list probably decreased, but they weren't
Changing the
releasing the
numbers.
information. And so because you had that same number for so many days,
Right.
but we never had an update, right?
Yeah.
So I can't help but imagine that each day that number changed. We just didn't receive the number. So I don't think it went overnight like
Right.
it looks like to us.
Yeah.
But also, you know, people call in if you think about how you travel. If I were out of town, my daughter would not know exactly where I was staying. And then all of a sudden she can't get a hold of me because, you know, I'm an adult. She's an adult. I'm not like I'm at 2108.
Right, right.
We don't do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do. I don't. I'm a bad parent. But she's going to be like, wait, my mom
Was visiting
went to
that
that
area.
place. I can't get a hold of her. Of course she's going to report me because she's worried and she's got to find me. And then somewhere in there, hopefully we're reunited, but no one thinks to call back and
Call
say
back,
that.
yeah. We
Of
did that. We did that
course.
very thing. Yeah.
And you also have people that haven't talked to their family members in a long time, but they know they live in Ingram, Kerrville, or Hunt. Oh my gosh, I think they live near the river.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of that happens that they have to take time to verify.
Or they have
can't-
people have no idea where Hunt and Ingram's at, and their parent haven't talked to their parents in a month. They just figure
Yeah.
it's there's that element
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
So-
so anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I have faith in DPS. So-
I wish my criticism of DPS is that they never really publicized who was on that list.
Correct. I understand that.
And
I can
so
understand why they didn't, though, too.
Yeah, I
So I
I'm
see both
sure.
sides.
I'm sure there's a reason why. And see, the issue for me was that the number never came locally. It was always from DPS.
Yeah.
And so DPS, had a number. and the governor would say it. And I think that's been part of the communication issue, is that you have the governor's office saying this, and then local people are saying this. So now we also have a discrepancy in the number of deaths now, because
Yeah.
Kendall County, so they had 9 people die. Whether those are from Kerr County or not, we don't know at this point.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I knew from day one that we had a significant number of missing people, and the list that Tony Gallucci has, that we've also used in concert with him at times, has pretty much been verified by obituaries, unfortunately. So there's that. And so where are we at really with the missing? I think we're probably 3 to 5 probably still missing. I got some angry call yesterday about Mystic. There's still kids missing from Mystic. I'm like, I don't think there's anybody missing from Mystic.
Yeah.
Maybe I think one person might be still missing from Mystic, but
the hardest thing to track are the people that you don't know where they were.
right.
Camps, places where you check in, a hotel, whatever that is,
Right.
They've got records. Yeah.
that you have some records to
It doesn't
kind of work backwards from.
Yeah, it doesn't detract from the tragedy that we've faced, and I don't use tragedy, lightly.
No, it's a tragedy.
I look at it in the sense of how it's touched people. Yesterday I went through and I did 25 obituaries. I'm just going through finding all the
I know,
obituaries.
you were definitely.
I'm running
You were
them all.
busy.
I'm running them all now. That's my goal, is for every single obituary that we have, so we have a record of all the people who passed away. The thing that kills me the most about this is that, for whatever reason, we had the little kids in there too, but just the sheer number of families that were wiped out.
Entire families.
The Burgess family, they were, 4 of the 5 members died.
Yeah.
Interesting note on that one too, and I don't. It's hard to. John Burgess' brother is Pat Green, the singer, and I heard very early on that it was Pat Green that had to come down and identify him, but he's definitely in the obituary, and so there's so many stories out there right now. It's like hard to keep them all just kind of straight.
Sure.
But that one is the one that hurt me, I think, because here they are, they're camping. The oldest daughter is at a camp, and now she's an orphan.
Yeah.
There was a young couple that were camping here or staying here along the river, 21 years old from Beaumont, which is interesting too. And the funeral home that handled a lot of the Beaumont ones is the Broussards, which is Karen Guerrero's family owns. Karen Guerrero of Curvo Pets Alive. And so there's this weird kind of connection that's in there.
Yeah.
But how many of these couples that, there was one that was married 39 years, or one that married 50 years, and they died together. And so there was at least 4 or 5 married couples or couples that were killed together. And that's it. And that's hard to reconcile, that one too. And I only got through 25 yesterday, and there's a couple in there that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So Mr. Richard Dunlap was the one. He and his wife both died. Took him a while to find his wife, I guess, but we're going to post every single one of those, and it's hard, it's hard, but it's important. I read every single one of those ones. The one that it was interesting that got the most attention was a guy named Cody Crossland, who was a Midland kid. He'd been married to his wife for 17 years. They had a really big blended family. Also, one of their dogs died in this as well. One of the dogs survived. One of the dogs died. So it was tough. So we're going through that. But the big questions that still remain are the economic recovery, the environmental damage is going to have to be assessed here as well. This probably wreaked havoc on the Guadalupe river bass population. It's just changed the habitat areas for a lot of our species here. Will they allow these things to be rebuilt in the floodways in the future? That's where all the deaths pretty much happened, was in those areas. So there's a lot of big questions to still the answer here as we continue on. Doug?
Yes, sir.
You have been ground zero of a remarkable operation, and it was weird yesterday seeing it kind of clear out a little bit yesterday. The barbecue guys went home.
Yep.
That was quite the operation.
Yeah, they did 45,000 meals.
That's amazing.
Out of that parking lot.
You've done updates every day.
Yep.
That's
strangely popular.
Everyone in my office is watching you.
My wife laughs at me because I'm doing stupid stuff, like my alarm goes off in the middle of my recording. I don't care. Just this is raw, man. Just take it how it is.
You know,
It is what it is.
They
I find it
teach you that it's okay to be that way.
It's-
So
yeah.
there you go.
Low production value.
I think though, I've tried to share every single one of them
I appreciate that. Thank you.
because I think it is exceptionally positive and another voice of healing and reassurance in our community. So
Well, that's our focus, right? Because there's lots and lots and lots of places for you to politicize this thing, and there's lots of places for you to pick and Monday morning quarterback and all that stuff. But I'm not interested in that at all. I've sat in the shoes of folks that have had difficult jobs before, and I'm not picking on anybody at the city. I'm not picking on decisions people made. Who knows what I would have done in that position? So I'm shutting up. Right? That's not my place. So I want to just contribute in some positive way. And so I got a hold of, or these guys got a hold of me from the RV thing. And it's, I think yesterday we delivered an RV. I think that was the 9th one.
yeah,
Way to
Wow.
go.
The ninth
That's
family
amazing.
that we got
nice.
and put in. And this guy got sick, I think from being in the river. And he had to go to his parents' house a couple hours away and try to recover because he was living in somebody's side room, And so we got the RV pulled out there for him. Somebody volunteered to go pick it up, drive it out,
It's amazing.
park it. We set it all up for him. We're going to send some folks out there to clean it up. And yeah, so we got another one
You're
coming.
doing your part.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing what I can do. Yeah.
That's. I
Yeah.
mean, and I think that's what's beautiful about our community and beyond is that
Yeah.
we're all finding our one little place that we can do our part. I think Lewis honoring the lives of the people
Sure.
that have been lost is important.
And documenting.
Hard
yeah.
for me to
Yes.
see and read, but
Yes.
it's important.
Yes, of
and
course.
you celebrating ways that people are being helped
Get
is
them to
important.
stand up back on their
Yeah.
feet. Yeah. So it's it's crazy. It really is kind of crazy. And you said a minute ago, you said, "Oh, we're all come together and stuff." And that has been thrown around a lot the last couple of weeks. But I just want people to take a second and understand the guy that volunteered. Never met this guy in my life. I put it out on Facebook. He volunteered to take his truck, go pick up this fifth wheel RV somewhere in Houston, drive it all the way back over here, and park it, and shook hands and said thanks and walked off. I mean,
yeah.
that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he didn't ask for a penny for diesel fuel,
Yeah.
nothing. He was just happy to do it, and he even offered if we need another one. So,
He was like, "This is my way I can
yeah,
help."
I'm
exactly.
actually contributing.
Yes,
I'm not
exactly.
unsolicited.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
Yeah, and he didn't get on CNN or anything. He just he's just doing his thing. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, there's lots and lots and lots of those kinds of stories.
There are.
out there. So, and that's kind of what we're focusing on. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think that the work that Gibson's has done, clearly, I've always called Gibson's iconic or a land retail place in town. We know it's a tourism driver. People have come into this, and there's a lot of people that have, I think that you guys have, I think, even distinguished yourselves in a time when retail is sort of like, we're not going to help out. We're not going to do anything. We what are we supposed to do? You guys have done that effort.
well, we look at it as neighbors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you
We
can't stay in business for 50 years without making some friends and having
Sure.
some neighbors. So that's kind of how we look at it. And I tell you, the relationships that have been built amongst my staff and some of the vendors, that is really what's gotten us so many. I think so far, I'll get numbers when this is all over, but it's going to be big. But we've donated more than 200 pairs of muck boots for free to these guys that are out mucking around in the river. Some people showed
Right.
up with shorts and tennis shoes. Now, they're just trying to help, but they had
Yeah.
no clue. And so now they need boots, right? So that Wrangler just donated, I think we got 48 or 49 boxes of work clothes. Ariat donated a bunch of boots. Georgia donated a bunch of boots, and so on. So
It's amazing.
so we're focusing on getting the firefighters,
Yeah,
the
getting
volunteer
that to the
fire
right
team.
place.
Yeah, because they're going to stay here and continue to help and continue to work. So those companies,
I got to go on this TV show later. I'm gonna write that down. Wrangler and Ariat.
Wrangler, Ariat, and Muck were the biggest ones, and Justin Boots. Those were very, and I mean, they reached out to us. We didn't reach out to them. They reached out and said, "How can we help?" And we said, "These guys need boots," and they said, "We're sending you boots." We said, "Awesome, we'll take them."
Yeah.
And so,
And I think that's been really cool is the people that reach out to you, right? I mean, even me in the travel industry,
Yeah.
I didn't have time to think
What a
about asking
novel
anyone.
concept. People
and they
reaching
just
out.
reached out
Yeah.
to say, what can we do? And they're doing that with
Yeah.
Gibson's, and they're doing that in all these pockets all over.
So I'm going to give you one more pitch.
Yeah.
This is my pitch. I think that Okay, this is a little bit of a rant. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're ready.
People get so negative, man, right? They're like picking on each other, all stuff. That's not the way the world really is on social media, right? Real people are really actually helping one another, and that doesn't get enough attention. What gets attention is this idiot said something stupid
Trolls, the
on the
trolls.
air. Yeah, and it's just like, forget that stuff, man. Just turn it off and go help somebody.
Go do
man.
good
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Well, and
That's
we
all.
have remarkable local organizations.
Absolutely.
Consequence and size.
Yes.
And Austin Dixon. I mean,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you, too.
Focus
and
on the
this,
good.
And this thing, too, it's like, it's bent a lot of our organizations. It's bent them to the point of breaking, and yet they are bouncing back in a lot of ways. We had Major Phil Swires on yesterday. Man, he's calm, cool, and collected. I thought we had gems. I thought we had gems with Jeremiah and Missy Romack, but we got Phil Swires here now too, and he's seen it. He's been in it. He's been in Asheville, North Carolina, and I feel much better talking to him. I mean, I it's like he just knows. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
We've got so many great things in place here to
HEB.
HEB, yeah.
Like,
They have their grocery store at the high school. And when you go to Hunt, it's just like there's so many people helping out. It's just incredible. People from all over the country that are here. So, Elzeth, over the Salvation Army, though,
Yes, sir.
you're still having to manage these little kids, though.
Yeah.
Are you teaching them how to avoid baboons in the wild, or what's going on there?
just get
Lewis and the baboons.
shovel mud, right?
We chase them around and make them escape us. Yeah.
It is. I'm telling you, it's a trend. It's South Africa, man. They're overrun by baboons. It's a real problem there. So,
Yeah.
Well, good thing we're in the Texas Hill Country.
There you go. Yes.
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 Although I think a baboon troop would probably do well here, quite frankly, but that's just okay.
Much a similar climate for them.
All right. So what's going on with you at is it
Hawk Academy.
The Croc
Yes.
is another one of our we have multiple command centers around town here. We have First Baptist Church. We've got Gibson's. I think Walmart still has a pretty significant little command center. And then we have the Salvation Army, and then we have the Hunt store. And then we have the Center Point Volunteer Fire Department. Those are all of our, and then the Hill Country Youth Event Center. We have all of our command centers. But what's going on at the Croc?
So for us at the Croc Academy specifically, we are now in our second to last week of summer camp.
Wow.
Yes. It's week 8, and so we got 1 week left, and now we're shifting gears into after school, trying to get ready for our kiddos to go back to school in a couple of weeks. And so staffing is a big deal for us, or continue to be. And so we're just looking to get the space ready for them to come back to normalcy.
Good. Yeah. I mean, and so it's like it's the delicate balance. It's the Salvation Army is like the school districts in a lot of ways. You're in recovery mode, but you have to get ready for the next phase of things. So
Yeah, so for everyone, and each of us have our own way of how do we move on without just disregarding what just happened. And we saw that with the kids also over the last few weeks. It's like summer camp was probably the one place where, because the building is the same as it was before they left, and thank goodness all my staff was still accounted for. So that was like our primary focus, because I personally and my staff had very little hands-on experience with what the social services and Salvation Army was doing during the disaster relief.
Yeah.
But our primary focus became just giving the kids that one spot where they could still come, and everything was the same. Nobody left, nobody changed, nothing is damaged. It's just that one spot of normalcy. And so to, again, not just discredit anything that has happened, but just to give them still a space where they could feel like
It's a safe
it's the
space.
same,
Yeah.
safe, and it's the same place. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can operate right now,
Yes.
like our businesses and stuff,
Yeah.
we need it.
Yes.
Right. And that's the thing that it's that sort of like you have to find that balance between normalcy and recovery, and that's the hard part as well. I mean, Doug, you're going through that too with your with Gibson's. You got to run a business,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
then but you're also involved in this massive recovery effort.
Yeah. Well, like Dalton puts it great, and then we learned this in the military. You just have to compartmentalize.
We gotta clarify which Dalton, because there's multiple. There's Dalton Rice,
Dalton
and
Rice,
Dalton
the city
Dover,
manager,
the city
Dalton
manager,
Rice,
right,
yeah. And he says it perfectly. You have to compartmentalize, right, and prioritize. That's what you have to do. And there's time for grieving. There's time for therapy and healing and all that. But there's time that you have to buckle down and do the job that needs to get done. And so that's a real common thing that you learn in the military because you're oftentimes tasked with very important, dangerous things. And so you have to learn that real quick. So.
Yeah, right. Janelle, your efforts, you're kind of tied to this community deeply in many ways. You've been in the Rotary Club and things like that. I mean, what is your observation about this community's resilience right now? What do you see in the next few months?
Well, like what Doug and Julie have been saying, for all the gut-wrenching tragedy, there's been so much beauty in the response.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just staggering the way everyone's joined together. I think that we have amazing ninja-like out-of-town responders helping and all that, and they're going to do their thing, and eventually they're going to go away. And then it's going to be the local business leaders.
Grinding it out.
It's going to
Yep.
be, the middle-aged people out because we've got ninjas out there working right now.
Yes.
And so that's going to fold in more. Everyone's going to be waiting for that volunteer opportunity. And that's going to, those little projects, service projects like with Rotary and so forth, we've got cleanup, we've got rebuilding, we've got parks, we've got all these things, exciting new projects that will come that will need to have energy and design and all that as we get there.
Right.
I just think it's been hard in some ways, but really staying out of the way initially,
Yeah.
make the donations, and
Right.
get out of the way.
Get out of the way, right.
It's kind of been the first charge.
Yeah.
And for all the people who diverted their businesses and made meals and all that, I've kind of been like, now be our little local establishments again, so that people can get in there and start getting that going, because that's going to be part of the town recovering, of people recovering. We went out to Zanzibar weekend before last. Place was packed.
Yeah.
Everyone was ready to be in their little places. I think they were only closed a week or 4 days or whatever that window is, and I think there's still volunteers here. So I hope our local establishments, will get going.
Yeah.
So that people can. I mean, that we need them to do well. We have a tax deficit thing going on. We need volunteers to know what that's all about.
Right.
The ones that are still coming, and so that
What we really need too is for people to understand that we're open for business, and it's going to take us a while to get back to normalcy, but that we're still, I think, the best place to live in all of Texas, but that's just me.
Absolutely.
And so what is your feedback from your clients that are coming out here looking? You're selling some houses. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've got files working for sure. I mean, they wanted to be in Kerrville before, and they still want to be in Kerrville. Now, I haven't been working with people that were doing riverfront anything. So I say that hasn't been the folks I've been working with right now. But I think this is a very desirable place to live, and having thoughtful people move in just feels good. It really does.
I mean, it does feel good to do that, and I think that's one of the things that we're working on. It's like, hey, you know what? This is still a great place to be here and to enjoy. It's going to look different, it's going to look different. But we've got some things out there that are in the works. And I think tomorrow I think today, I know the Community Foundation is making an announcement today. And again, tomorrow, they'll be here tomorrow to talk about some of the things they're working on. There's a lot of efforts. There's so much work going on behind the scenes, and so many people who are concerned about the long-term care, which makes me circle back to Julie Davis's counseling session that she offered everybody last Friday. By the way, and that buffet thing over at the YO was quite nice, actually.
Was it good?
I did.
I
enjoy
didn't eat it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, I heard
You
good
were
things.
busy working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk while y'all eat.
I know. I was
Yeah. That's okay.
whatever that mustard pork thing was
Oh,
quite,
okay.
quite lovely.
I'll make a note for next year.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know.
I don't remember what it was.
Actually, I
It
told
was
the
a
GM.
pork, but I don't
told
remember.
the
I don't
GM,
remember
said
either.
It was very,
There was chicken piccata or something with pork.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah. It was quite nice. But I
Good.
think that's what people really took away from this was that there were some hard truths that were said.
Yeah.
Dalton Rice broke the news that the triathlon is just probably not going to be able to happen here this year.
Yeah.
We're not prepared for it. We're not. The river is not going to be able to.
Yeah. The river's going to be a no-go. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
But
so
they they could do a different type of race if
Yeah.
they really wanted.
Yeah, if they want to adjust. I was thinking about that after
They
he
could
said
pivot.
that. Yeah.
They can pivot. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the triathlon, we understand why it can't happen in the traditional way this
Yeah.
year. Really, what's important is on top of understanding that, giving grace to the fact that the river is what it is right now, and there's no way to fix it by the end of September.
Yeah.
But being responsible to keep the triathlon next year, you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
maintain that relationship with that group and encourage them and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see them pivot and just do something different.
Just do the running portion.
Yeah, the running and the biking or something. Yeah. So
I think that's something that, absolutely. They can pivot. There's just going to be that issue where we'll be back
Yeah.
for this,
Yeah.
probably
I mean,
within a year.
Honestly, if they did a course where you got to see some of what happened,
Yeah.
people would sign up and come for that.
yes,
Oh,
I
sure.
I mean,
promise.
there's no question.
Yeah. I don't even know if the river trail would even be open by
No, not
that,
the river trail,
yeah,
just
but
up and around.
up and
You're
around,
not going to
yeah.
be able to be anywhere
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
below, but
Right.
Yeah.
there
So-
are stretches
Yeah.
that would work in that way.
Right. And for the swimming part, maybe we could just take them and hit them with squirt guns or something like that. I don't know. There'd be some kind
Nice.
of,
Yeah.
some kind of deal.
Yeah, water
those
gun-
little,
a
those
water
little,
gun
those little,
race?
those water guns that you have over there at Gibson's.
we have some of the big
right.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do some swimming at the Croc. Yeah, we could probably do it at the
A
Croc.
lot of laps.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to throw in a couple more plugs real
yeah.
quick, and then I have to go because I have an RV thing developing.
All right.
I think we're both hiring.
Yes.
Which is was another
Oh,
like
amazing.
recovery kind of a deal. I need a full-time cashier. So if somebody is interested in that job, I prefer somebody with some cashiering experience. Please just stop by the store and see either. You could see either me or Jessica. And we'll have a chat with you about what your experience is. And so I need a full-time cashier, and I don't know what you're hiring for,
Yeah,
but
after school counselors, so more people to be with our kids.
You need
Part-time.
get it done. Get it done. We need all the help for those kids out there as well.
Yes.
So it's good to know that we're hiring still.
Yes,
yeah, I mean, because
absolutely.
like Janelle just said, I mean, you have to be responsible business owners and keep the thing going. And so, we need to keep on trucking.
Absolutely. I think that's something that, that's part of the plan, part of the recovery plan. So, all right, Doug, good job.
Thank you. I got to go tow an RV.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you for all you're doing.